Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching the finale of Young Sheldon. This is the 14th episode of the 7th season. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the whole entire franchise. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available in the link in the description below. Just click it, put the password in and enjoy. So, this is being recorded after I've actually watched the series because it's time to come back and review your guys' votes for your most liked characters throughout the whole entire franchise before obviously we deep dive into the crazy finale episode. And obviously, you know, you've seen, if you've been watching the channel, what's gone on the last few episodes, which has been a crazy world ride, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's proper come out of nowhere, hit us hard, and to be honest, produced some really good episodes in the final few, days that we've obviously led up to this moment. And, maybe that's changed your opinion on some of the characters, and maybe somebody's creeped into your top three that you haven't potentially thought about before. But in today's intro anyway, we are going to be reviewing it. If you don't obviously want to watch that, you can just skip to the main part of the video. But right now, we're going to jump over and check out my most liked characters throughout the whole entire franchise, and also your characters for the whole entire franchise. And I'm very interested to see who you guys choose. Okay, so here we are on the page that says, you can vote for your top three most liked characters throughout the whole entire franchise. Moved up into the top, the top corner for this one, instead of the middle of the screen. And here we have the nominees. We got Sheldon, Mary, Georgie Jr., MEMOIR, George Senior. I should have put Mandy, Dr. Sturgis, Dale, Missy, Dr. Linkletter, Billy, and Pastor Jeff. I feel like these characters here are the ones that have been in it quite a decent amount. I probably could have put Billy's mum in there as well, Brenda, but I mean, sometimes I feel like just because they're in it, it would be just a wasted opportunity anyway. I don't feel like out of everybody here that she would get the most votes. However, maybe that could have been a choice, but these are the main ones, and I feel like it's a good mix, and I feel like they've all given us a good few laughs here and there throughout the whole entire show. Now I'm kind of struggling, to be honest, in who to actually pick, and I've got to tell you why. Because the show's called Young Sheldon, you would think straight away, boom, Sheldon in there. He was in there in the Big Bang Theory, he won. However, I'm on the edge whether to even put Sheldon in it in this show, and I've got to say I don't dislike any of these characters, so it's not to say that I dislike him. It's more of I kind of enjoyed the other people on the screen. Like, Sheldon's been fun to watch and interesting, but I don't think that he makes me laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as other characters do. And that's where I struggle at tossing the turn, because do I enjoy the show with him in it and his storyline and what he's been doing? Yeah, but like, who's kind of made me giggle or laugh and enjoy the scenes more? I don't think it's him, and I think that I've just taught myself into crazily not sticking Sheldon into my top three most liked characters. So I'm just going a mad one. I'm just going to pick. My first one that I'm going to choose is actually, it's Connie, wherever she is, MEMOIR. I just think that she's been consistent throughout. I've enjoyed a banter back and forth between George. I feel like she gets on with the kids as well. She has a good, funny relationship with Dale. He annoyed me as well. He's not going to be in it, but he annoyed me when he was first introduced. I didn't like him at all, and especially when he had that beef with Georgie, when obviously the store got robbed, then he offered to pay back his own money. He took it anyway and fired him. Oh, I was fuming, but he redeemed himself. Honestly, he really has. But MEMOIR's been consistent the whole way through. I've liked it. I think the storyline's been good as well. I feel like season 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, was kind of like she was main character mode, even though it was Young Sheldon. She was with Dr. Sturgis, wasn't she? And it was around her, and then obviously she had the laundromat. I've enjoyed it. I mean, Billy, I was thinking about putting him in because I do love his scenes, and he's only in it for about 10 seconds each time, but I can't, can I, man? I can't. But somebody that I can do is Missy. Right, I've got to say, throughout the whole entire show, I've enjoyed her. The banter between her and her brother going up, and I kind of enjoyed her character progression as well. There's certain scenes that she does that annoy me, which is the bratty teenager. I'm not a fan, but like for the whole entire show and the way she is, I've enjoyed her character. I liked her. I actually have liked her. I think she's been good, and most of the storylines that she's in have been pretty decent and pretty funny. And then the final one is actually going to be the guy who's getting his extension of his show. He's going to be Georgie Jr. again, an upbeat character, a happy guy, go do it. I enjoyed him in school, I enjoyed him trying to date people, I enjoyed him working, he's ethic, you know what I mean? He's different, he was a school dropout, but nothing phases him. He's funny and I like him. He's just a sound guy. So they're my picks. I know that it's 100% not going to be what everybody picks, but let's just see what the Patreon chooses. Okay, so here we are on our top 3 most liked characters for the whole entire franchise. Let's see who you guys choose. So straight away, looking at this, we can see that Georgie Jr. is actually the winner. You've just seen me do my votes, and obviously I selected at the time MEMOIR, Georgie Jr. and Missy. You know, I feel like throughout the whole show, they kind of entertained me and made me laugh the most. I actually really do like Sheldon, however, looking back on it, but these guys made me chuckle. And that's what I kind of really enjoy when I tune into things like this. So that was my justification. And obviously, you guys are as excited as me. You know, George and Mandy have got their own show, which we're going to jump into. And he's the most liked character throughout the whole franchise from you guys. 70 votes has been cast. Obviously, he's received 15 of them. Sheldon, and then, is in second place. 17% of the votes. He's received 12. With third place actually being George. So maybe what's happened in the last few episodes has pushed him up to the top, you know, because Missy and MEMOIR are quite tight. MEMOIR's got 10, Missy's got 9. It's been a good, pretty even split, if I'm being totally honest. Everybody's kind of received some votes. I mean, Mary's got 1. Pretty ruthless, isn't it? To be honest, Mandy's got more than her too. Dr. Sturgis been pretty funny throughout it. Dale, I believe, towards the end, has been a very good kind of grumpy granddad. I really enjoyed him. But throughout the whole mix, it's been very interesting to see, and it's good to see everybody choosing different characters. And obviously, if we're going to go with the majority and what everybody selected, the favourite characters for the franchise are Georgia, Sheldon, and George Sr. Very good. Thanks for checking out the channel. Hopefully, guys have enjoyed the franchise, the series. I really do appreciate it. The comments, the votes, engagement. It's been fantastic. And hopefully, you guys enjoyed today's finale episode. So, thanks for checking it out. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like video helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into the finale of Young Sheldon.
It had been 27 days since my father's funeral, and everyone was still understandably out of sorts.
Finish up, we gotta get to church.
We already went Wednesday and Thursday.
Jesus died for you. He didn't ask if that was enough.
Even as a child, I was always doing things to make other people happy.
He looks well
I
old.
read over my shoulder.
Well, are you writing your memoir or a fantasy novel?
For your information, the word memoir comes from memory, and these memories are mine.
Giving birth, you zoomed into a seminar.
You were taking forever to dilate, and I'd already made my contribution to the project.
Let me remind you that Emmanuel means God with us.
What is that?
It's my new laptop. Dr. Sturgis and Dr. Linkletter gave it to me as a graduation gift.
Is there an issue?
No, keep praying. We'll catch up.
What you got there?
An IBM ThinkPad. 50 megahertz of processing power, 4 megabytes of RAM. Behold and worship!
Want to see something neat?
Is it you starting to get ready for your son's hockey game? Because that would be neat.
Oh, I'm not going to that, but check this out. My first laptop. Children on skates hitting a rubber puck with a stick. Why would I want to see that? Busy. I'm writing about my last few days in Texas before going to Caltech. It's very emotional.
I can see that. Hit the showers.
Is this what you do when I'm not here?
You could have walked in on a lot worse.
Just worried about Mary.
Is she hitting the bottle?
Hitting the Bible.
Oh, and I was young, lost and mad at the world. Picking up a guitar kept me from going down a bad road.
Why is there still a placemat there?
It's your father's seat.
But he's not here.
He's here in spirit.
No, he's not.
Shut up, Sheldon. Chicken's good, Mary.
Thank the Colonel.
Did you change the topic to fried chicken because my topic was awkward?
I did.
And is it awkward that I'm bringing it up again?
It's getting there.
It's not a magic chair. Anyone can sit there.
There's something I have been thinking about that I would like you kids to consider. I want you both to get baptized.
This is some good chicken. See how I changed the subject from awkward to awkward?
Ain't no big deal, I did it.
He kissed a girl in the tub and she punched him in the face.
Her name was Veronica Duncan and he was madly in love with her for years.
At least he has a type. Now, you know, like I said, I'm not a religious person. However, in the scheme of things, somebody said something, one of my friends that I know about their parents, and it was that I think her dad was baptised, and I think she was baptised, but her mum wasn't. and her mum wasn't religious. However, in the later stages of her life, her mum decided, you know what, I'm going to get baptised as well. Not because I'm going to follow the faith, but her position on it was, if there is an afterlife, and if we all do go there, then I want to make sure that I'm going to be in the same place as my family. You know, if they're baptised, I should be baptised. Because then we can all be part of the same religion. We can all be together, wherever that may be in the future. And I get it. I actually do get it. Now, it's interesting because when people say, is there an afterlife? I don't really know how to answer that. Because I feel like the obvious answer is no. But then I feel like the far-fetched answer would be, yeah, there's an afterlife. We're all going to die, go to heaven, all sing and dance and have a great time. And that just sounds far-fetched as well. But if somebody says to me, do I believe that this spirit's a ghost? I actually do. I actually do. Now, have I ever experienced one myself? No. But I think that there is enough evidence in the world to prove that there is a spirit in the beyond after someone's died, that there's somebody there. Now, whether it's an evil spirit or whatnot, I'm not saying everybody gets it, but I do believe that there are certain spirits in the world, and I don't know the answer to how they got to be into that position. Only other way is there's something else after you pass. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, I don't actually know. But, like they were saying there, George is there in spirit, Sheldon's like, no, it's not real. I do believe the spirits are real, or ghosts, or something, you know, like, because I've seen too many things, too many videos, too many, you know, clips and shows, to me, that shows that spirits in the afterlife are a thing. So I hold on to that. That when we do die, something good or something else is there waiting.
What you watching?
Nothing.
Where's your mom?
I don't know. Probably church. Again.
Why don't we get out of here and do something?
Like what?
I don't know, something fun.
Can we go to a bar?
No.
You okay?
I'm fine. Just talking with God.
He say something to upset you? Because I give him what for.
Really want to cheer me up, help convince your brother and sister to get baptized.
Meemaw, it's Georgie. I'm worried about Mom.
Look, I just want to say I'm really sorry for what you're going through.
People keep saying they're sorry. It's so stupid.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. I just want you to know that I'm here for you if you need anything.
Like a dad who's not dead and a mom who's not crazy.
Okay, now crazy moms. That one I know. I have the Girl Scout badge.
What you doing?
Packing my things for California.
You're taking your toy trains?
They're not toys, they're historically accurate facsimiles.
Sheldon, if you don't believe in baptism, what's the harm?
The harm? You're asking me to get in a big tub of unchlorinated human filth. This ritual is just superstitious nonsense to make you feel better.
And you taking all your things to college isn't just to make you feel better?
We're on your game today.
Does that mean you'll get baptized?
I gazed lovingly at her. I thought about how much she had been through. Not a chance, lady.
Sheldon, I know you're not a fan of sports, but it would mean so much to Leonard to have his father in the stands supporting him. March your cute behind upstairs and get in that shower.
But that doesn't mean I'm going.
Hey, funny meeting you here. I'm worried about you.
Me? I'm doing fine. Jesus is helping me through.
Spending all your time praying.
I'm praying for them.
Mary, they don't need your prayers. They need their mother.
Yes, but I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that my kids are safe.
I really thought I was going to bring you around.
I'm on my game today. Sheldon said so.
I know you're eager to turn it into a ballet studio or a gossip parlor or whatever it is girls your age enjoy.
She's gonna miss him now.
Different lately.
Mm-hmm.
Change is terrible. I've been saying it since I no longer fit in my high chair.
Got us out of it?
No, you need to do it.
But it's against my well-established atheism.
It's not about you. Your mom needs this. I'm just asking for 20 minutes of your time.
Fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is where you can get changed into your bathing suits and robes. Boys there, girls there. I'll give you a minute. Okay, now our next baptism is for Sheldon Lee Cooper.
What's important is
He's doing it, yeah.
Oh my. You never told me you were baptized.
Yes, and I got a pretty nasty ear infection from my troubles.
That must have been great. Having parents who supported you despite all your differences.
I'm not wearing the jersey.
Okay, but it is cold there.
Oh, fine, I'll wear it.
And by the way, your daughter wants to take acting classes.
I told you we never should have let Penny babysit. My dad's chair was gone. My spot was gone. But I can still remember it exactly the way it was the day I left for Caltech.
Taking it all in one last time, so I remember it when I'm older.
You gonna remember me?
I have an eidetic memory. I have no choice.
That was actually a nice moment between them. They ending with the same tune they started with. Da-da-da. So that was it then. Job for good and see you later, alligator. We've finished. It's mad though, isn't it? Like, I didn't know really how we was gonna go from the last episode, considering it was a big, big episode, to be honest, a funeral. But like, I feel like they've done it pretty well. They've shown how everybody's kind of coping in the aftermath of the death, and everybody's still struggling in their own ways. Mary, I always wondered how, because in the Big Bang Theory, Mary was hardcore religious, and I mean proper hardcore religious, but like in this she was just religious. Like, she preached it, but she wasn't like to the extreme, and I feel like she was in the Big Bang Theory, but this is what set it off. This was the catalyst, this was the beginning, and you could see here in today's episode that she's kind of neglecting their own needs because she felt like she's lost a big massive hole in her life. She's lost a big massive purpose of why she's living, and she's trying to ensure that all the families are all safe. You know what I mean? This has hit her hard, and her main focus now is the safety of her children. So whether it's a short-term pain of not really being with them for the long-term gain of her kids are safe in this and the next life, she's willing to take that. Do you know what I mean? And it was deep, the conversation that Connie had with them sat in the bedroom, because it was obvious that that's what she was going to say. When she walked in, she was like, look, you're doing it. And I knew she was going to say that, because it's not for you. Regardless of whether you want to do it or not, it's 10 minutes out of your time, and it's a whole lifetime for your mum to be happy. You know what I'm saying? And everybody wants to make the mum happy. Everybody wants to do whatever it is that the parents need so that they can feel like everything is safe and okay. And, this was that for them. Now, obviously, Missy didn't do it. She was fuming and she stormed out. You can still see that it was fresh and angry for her. But at least Sheldon went through it. Whether he looked ridiculous or not, he'd done it. And like Pastor Jeff said, and like Mary was saying, at least he's there. You know what I mean? It's a big deal for him. He never thought this day would come. And it is. So, I don't know. It's a good episode. It's a good show, to be honest. I'm actually disappointed that it's ended, because I don't feel like it needed to. I don't feel like there was any decline. To be honest, I've said it consistently. I felt the seasons were getting better, or was just on par. And if you look at the ratings as well, they reflected it. There was no dip in audience viewership for like 5-6 seasons, which is pretty amazing, to be honest. So, I don't know. Obviously, it's gone and we got the spin-off, but, it's sad that it's gone. I enjoyed it. I never really knew what it was going to be. I mean, I knew what it was going to be, but like how I was going to take to it, considering that we've gone from a full adult cast to like a main younger person. But the way they mixed it, they blended it and used it, made me feel for the characters, enjoyed them. Obviously, really, into the Georgie and Mandy storyline, and can't wait to jump into the next show with that. You know what I mean? They've done good, and it made me feel for the characters, and I was upset for George, and I like the family and the Coopers as a whole. They're really nice, and I just enjoyed the show as a whole, to be honest. It's different from the Big Bang Theory, but pleasantly different. You know what I mean? Like, if it was the same, then it would be, I wouldn't say boring, but it wouldn't have its own natural feel to it, and this one did. And yeah, it was nice seeing them. Obviously, there's a bit of nostalgia, but for this as its own show, like if it could get renewed ever, like I would champion it, because I actually thought it was decent, and I did thoroughly enjoy it. Okay, that is going to wrap up the whole entire franchise. Crazy, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, it literally does feel like the other day, just yesterday, as they used to say in The Fairly Odd Parents. that we started the show, and I can't believe that we're here at the end. I feel like it's absolutely flown by. You know, really got to like the characters, like I was just previously saying. Everybody's kind of used so well. Do you know what I mean? Like the first season, if you look back and watch it now, they were so small. They was tiny. They was like little babies. I'm not even gonna lie. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't notice the natural progression because you sit here and just watch episode after episode after episode. You gotta say fair play to Mary though. I feel like she and Connie looked pretty much identical all the way through it, so they've aged really, really well. George, I actually feel like he got greyer, but I feel like he looked better towards the end, like compared to the start. I feel like his hair was more darker and thicker. I feel like he did get greyer as it went on, but I do feel like he looked better at the end. And ripped his character, you know. And then obviously these guys, like I said, just little babies. Honestly, they really, really was. And it's mad to think that, you know, we've seen them grow all the way up into this position. Do you remember when we first started, he couldn't go out, you know, getting escorted to school, Sheldon couldn't go here, there, or do whatever, his comic book stores, and you know, look at him, he could stay at college himself, he's dashing about here and there, you know what I mean, he's going to Caltech on his own, like he's venturing out, like we've just seen the progression, it's crazy. And you know, Georgie as well, he was a young teenager, so to speak, and look at him being a dad. He's got Cece. We're going into a new show all about him and Mandy, and you know, it's going to be exciting to watch that and see how it is. Hopefully it gets picked up for a season 2. Hopefully it's doing well. Like I said, it looks like it's getting about 5-6 million views per episode, which is pretty consistent throughout since the start of the season to the end. Hopefully the network's happy with that, and we can get a couple more seasons of the Coopers and the characters that we like. And like I said, you know, I really enjoyed the show, the progression of the characters, especially, yeah, at the start, it was all about Sheldon. It's called Young Sheldon. But as we progress through it, it might as well have been called the Coopers, because that's what it is. Everybody was in there. Everybody had the mix. Everybody had the fair share, their own storylines. We could get behind them. Really enjoyed all the characters. The screen time was split pretty perfect, to be honest. You know, like I said, I'm a big advocate for the more characters, the merrier, because then there's more storylines and we don't have to focus on one thing all the time. We can jump from episode to episode and still keep everybody relevant. You know, I really did enjoy it, and I like seeing them all progress forward. One of the main things I thought was crazy is, obviously, as he grew older, the voices changed, and you know, Billy was a prime example of that. When he's done it, I was like, wow! I like, for like 5-6 episodes when that happened, like I couldn't focus on not mentioning it. You know what I mean? And obviously it gets boring. It's like a broken record when you're saying it, but like, it's something so evident. You know, maybe if I stopped watching it and then waited a whole year for a season to come out, like I wouldn't have noticed. But like me sitting here watching 3 episodes and then tuning in tomorrow and then watching him sound different, I'm like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on there? Like, it's mad. Obviously that's going to happen with them getting older. It's always bound to be. I mean, it was a bit of nostalgia and good to see Sheldon and Amy here in the end. We didn't see any of the other characters or see any of the kids. We do know that obviously he had a boy and a girl though. I'm not too sure exactly what the girl was called. I kind of felt like he said it was Penny, but then they said that his daughter wanted to go up and be an actress, and he said she shouldn't be hanging around Penny too much, and that's why it's happened, because she hung around Penny too much. And that was the reference to Penny, was obviously she was an actress, wasn't she? And that's why the daughter wants to do it. But I'm not too sure that we know the name. And also, obviously, Leonard, we did learn that in the early doors. And I actually feel like Amy looked a bit leaner and Sheldon looked older in the things. And, you know, when I say leaner, I'm never saying that she was fat before. But obviously, you can look at somebody's appearance and be like, oh, they look a little bit slimmer or whatever. And he looked older, like he did. Do you know what I mean? Like, looking at Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory to now, he does look older. But yes, granted, it has been years and people do age. However, the nostalgia, the connection, the voices, just everything about it. I mean, I like the memoir thing. I like how he sit down and he talk through his life. He's having a pretty eventful one, so this is like a decent book. But again, I'm always saying that, you know, when you talk about doing letters to people, and I always say I'm actually a big advocate for that. Write a letter, you can keep it years from now when you pass away. Family member can pick it up, they can read your personality, they can see the handwriting. It's something physical that you've made. And although I don't practice what I preach in terms of saying that that's a good idea, I also feel like writing a book about yourself is kind of good as well. Not because you're writing a book to put on Amazon or whatever and become a bestseller. More of, you know, your kids can pick it up and they can read it and they can see your life experiences from your eyes, and they can understand how you are and the personality that you gained and what you've done, and is their life different to yours? And You know what I mean? Like, what did you do as a child, and how's life changed? You know what I mean? Like, he was just talking about a laptop there. And honestly, I'm going to say hand on heart, is a laptop called a laptop because it sits on your lap? And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I've never even thought about that at all. I've just took it as that's a laptop and that's it. I never thought about why it's called a laptop. But when he said it, mate, I've got a computer on my lap. That's what it's for. I'm like, mate, no ways that's why it's made that name. And I might sound absolutely ridiculous saying that, but I never actually thought of it. Honestly, I never did. And like, it's a great name for the reason for that. But like I said, you know, like, his kid can read that and see all the experiences that the dad's been through and what he's done and how their life's totally different to theirs. And you can constantly keep updating it throughout it. And, you know, through his dad, Sheldon, Leonard and their kid can read that book and know who the granddad is. You know, they've never got to experience life with him, and they can read all these stories and everything that they've done and all the places that they've been and get a good imagination of the granddad and, you know, the nanny, for example, and know that they was hardcore loved and always there for them and what a great people they are. And do you know what I mean? And I feel like it is actually a great idea to sit down and write something about yourself, and not just for having a big ego and not just because my life's amazing. Even if your life is crap in your eyes, you know, like, you've always got people, family members, friends, or people that would want to sit down and read it, maybe when you're gone, which is not ideal. However, it's more of like, once that's there, it's there forever. As long as people don't throw it away and burn it or whatever, and there's no recollection of being able to get it ever again, your memory can live on with the family, and it can always be told your story, and the Coopers will always know that how much you care for them and how good you was and the personality that you had. And I just think it's a great idea, to be honest. I actually like it. I'm not going to sit there and write my own now, but I do feel like it's a little bit of a concept, and that I think is a good idea. But we're going to start Georgie and Mandy, so hopefully you guys are excited for that. It'll probably be out in a couple of days or something. I mean, let's get a few in the bank before we can get up and running. I'm really excited to see obviously what we do, and if their parents are in it a lot or if the Coopers are in it a little bit. You know what I mean? It's going to be exciting. Thanks for checking out this channel, supporting the Big Bang Theory, supporting young Sheldon. Hopefully I can see you over there, Georgie and Mandy as well. You guys are amazing. If you enjoyed today's video, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.